What's up, guys? It's Alfie, and I've got some awesome business tips for you guys again. This video has to do with how to create an improved business culture. Business culture is everything today, okay? If you don't understand how important culture is in a business, you don't understand business. Now, let me be clear. Not every business needs to have the same culture. You can have a very strict, unfun workplace with a specific culture in place, but as long as that culture is in place and being adhered to from the top down, it can work for you depending on what your business is. You can have a culture like Zappos that was very fun and exciting, and everybody was upbeat and very positive. And as long as that's being adhered to from the top down, that can be successful for your business. So what I want to give you today, and this is going to be tips for business owners, people who are in management, people who are in training positions, anybody in that sphere, it's going to help you to implement this at your own business in your position. So I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to create a more improved business culture at your company today. So you can start doing this today. Number 1, create a sense of selflessness. So the idea of selflessness is that a person is not selfish, obviously. You want them to understand that they are a cog in a wheel that is moving towards a bigger picture. It's not all about them. And the example that I use is a personal experience that I had with a business is, just imagine this experience. It's kind of something that a lot of you are probably used to or have had experiences with if you are business owners or anybody who's even worked in any business. So this was a commission type sales position, and this salesperson was bringing in about 60 to 65% of the monthly sales for the company. So he was a huge player, a big time hitter. And because of that, who knows when it happened, but he got a big head. And we started to notice that this guy was no longer adhering to any of the things that the company started off to wanting to do in terms of the integrity, the morals, the type of culture that was supposed to be established. He was going against it in any way, shape, and form. And what was horrible for the business owner was he was in this catch-22 where he felt like he couldn't get rid of this guy because of the amount of sales he was bringing in. So he was stuck with this guy who just felt like he could do whatever he wanted to do. Now, if you're ever in this position, realize this right now. First of all, that person is the opposite of number 1, selflessness. He's selfish, okay? So you need to get rid of him or correct that behavior. Now, it's more important to get rid of this person than keeping him on board, okay? A momentary bump in sales is not worth destroying business culture, and believe me, one person can do it. And in this example, this person was doing that, okay? So what you want to do is get rid of that person or correct their behavior and put someone in place who adheres to your business culture. It might take 3 months to ramp up and find somebody to fill that position. It might take 6, but in the end, you'll have a business that has a culture that's established and being adhered to, and you'll have a limitless potential. Trust me, you are burning bridges with customers, with your own employees, retention rates, etc., 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 if your culture isn't the way that it needs to be. It is not worth keeping 1 person or 2 people or 3 people or however many it is at the sacrifice of your culture of the business that you founded, that you set up, or as you as a manager helped to try to implement. Never jeopardize that. Remember that having selfless employees that aren't selfish is way more important. These employees understand that they're a part of the big picture, okay? And that kind of moves me into the next point, which is point number 2, visualization. You need to get all of your employees to visualize the end goal. Oftentimes what happens in business is people, they get bogged down in the day-to-day monotony of things, the day-to-day processes and procedures of their position. And you might have told them what the yearly sales goal was. You might have told them where you want the business to be at in 1 to 2 years, maybe 3 to 5. And they understand that for a second, but they forget about it. So it's important to have that visualization, that clear picture in front of them, in their mind as much as possible. And the way that you do this is with clear defined goals. Having clear defined goals will help people reach reach that ultimate goal and keep their eyes on that and keep the visualization alive. That's so important with business culture. If people feel disconnected from the ultimate goal, they'll feel disconnected from the company. And if they feel that they understand what the goal is, they understand what their position entails in that goal and what their role plays in meeting that goal, you're more likely to have someone who is invested in the company, who's invested in adhering to these certain business culture practices that you have in place. And you do that, again, with clear defined goals. That can be showing the monthly, being very transparent with your monthly goals, whether it's sales or amount of widgets you're trying to sell, whatever it might be, and being transparent with what you expect their goals to be, and making sure they're making clear and defined goals. And when they make clear defined goals, they'll be able to project their yearly goals, their yearly earnings, etc., and then they'll be able to see how that fits into the big picture, which is perfect. That you want that visualization, and that really helps with business culture. Step number 3 is supporting business processes and procedures, and by that I mean you need to have processes and procedures that help you to reach the culture that you're trying to set up. So, for example, just an easy example, if part of your culture is you want people to have integrity, which is great for any business, by the way, you want people to have integrity and carry themselves like that every day at work. So you definitely don't want to have a Word document open with people's credit card information on the computer when they walk in. Because the first thing that's going to happen is the person, especially if they're new, they're going to go, wait, what's going on here? I just had a whole hiring process and a training process where they talked about integrity, and if you got open credit card information on file and out here for everybody to see, this doesn't make any sense. So make sure that your processes and procedures are in line with your business culture, okay, with your morals, with what you want to see happening. So shred that information. Make sure that's not seen. That's a very, very simple one. Make sure that you have supporting processes and procedures that move you towards that business culture. Okay. Step number 4, the last one, the most important one, is leadership. Leadership. So this starts from the top down, of course. This goes from the owner first, in my opinion. You have to set the example as a business owner with your leadership. You have to exemplify exactly that perfect business culture that you want your employees to see. Now, if you want it to be a fun, exciting, vibrant, happy place where people work hard and play hard, you better show that through leadership. You can't be a grump who tells people to go kick rocks when you say, hey, how's it going today, boss? You can't do that. You've got to be that person who exemplifies that business culture. You've got to show that. In the very least, if you don't want to do that, you need to put people in leadership positions that do. So the leadership should be a perfect example, a shining example of what the business culture at your business is. So when people come in their first day, their training manager, their direct person that they're reporting to, they know, oh man, they do care about the customers here. It is about customer service. It is about integrity. It is about working hard and playing hard. It's not about all the opposites, because if they have a manager that's showing the exact opposite, what do you think is going to happen to the business culture? So if you don't have managers and leaders in place and mentors who are exemplifying those traits, you need to either get rid of them or correct that as soon as possible. Okay, guys, those are my 4 steps on how to create a better business culture at your business. I've done this myself. I've recently done this and helped to turn a company's business culture around, something I'm very excited about. I want to help to continue to do that. It can be done, so I know that can be done. This is real experience, real life experiences, and I shared these 4 steps with you because these are the 4 steps that I implemented. They're simple 4 steps. Yeah, there's broader variations of each step, but that's the foundation of it right there. And if you apply this to your business tomorrow, I guarantee you will see success. Again, thank you for watching the video. I try to make these videos as frequently as possible. I'll try to make them as short as possible as well. I appreciate a comment, a like, and definitely subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more information I'm going to be giving you guys, and hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day.